Thank you for tuning in with your host, Tom Atwater, and this is the story of a man named Elliot Rodger. And this story takes place in La Vista, California. On May 23, 2014, Rodger killed 6 people and injured 14 others using knives, semi-automatic pistols in his car near the University of California, Santa Barbara, UCSB, in Isla Vista, California. Rodger first killed his 2 roommates and their friend in the apartment they shared, ambushing and stabbing them one at a time as they arrived. Hours later, he drove to a sorority house where he intended to murder its occupants but was unable to enter the premises. Rodger shot at 3 women outside the sorority house, killing 2. He later drove by a nearby delicatessen, shooting and killing a man inside. Afterward, Rodger drove around Isla Vista, indiscriminately shooting and ramming into pedestrians with his vehicle. He exchanged gunfire with sheriff's deputies twice. In the latter occurrence, Rodger was shot in his hip. Shortly after, he crashed his vehicle into a parked car. As police examined the vehicle, they found Rodger dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. Before starting his planned attack on the sorority house, Rodger uploaded to YouTube a video announcing his intention to punish women, as well as the men to whom they were attracted, for their lack of interest in him. During his attack, Rodger also emailed a 137-page manifesto in which he described his major life events, personal struggles, and frustrations at having remained a lifelong virgin to several of his family members, acquaintances, and therapists. In the years after his death, Rodger has become an icon in incel and manosphere communities. He has inspired at least one other act of misogynist terrorism, the 2018 Toronto van attack. In the weeks leading up to April 26, 2014, Rodger created a 137-page manifesto entitled My Twisted World, the story of Elliot Rodger. In the manifesto, Rodger describes his life and frustrations at staying a virgin. He described women as a plague and said their right to choose their own partners could hinder the advancement of humanity, and that civilized men of intelligence should choose women's sexual partners. He also stated women should not be given any rights and that their wickedness needed to be contained to avoid the risk of humanity falling into degeneracy. Rodger said women's refusal to accept him was a declaration of war and hoped his attacks would reshape humanity. According to Rodger, to purify the world, it is necessary to remove love and sex from human existence. He imagined himself as a leader with fanatically loyal troops who imprison women in concentration camps, and the few left alive would be kept in secret labs and be artificially inseminated with sperm samples to become pregnant, ensuring men would be unaware of women's existence. Rodger detailed his plan for his Day of Retribution and divided it into 3 phases: 3009, 3010, 3011. The first phase involved killing his 2 roommates and then luring victims into his apartment, slowly torturing them before killing them. In the second phase, which he dubbed the War on Women, he aimed to target the very girls who represent everything I hate in the female gender, specifically focusing on the Alpha Phi sorority house with the intent to kill as many occupants as possible before setting fire to the building. In his final phase, before starting his proposed attack on the Alpha Phi sorority house, Rodger planned to drive to his father's house to kill his stepmother and half-brother. He would then steal their Mercedes SUV and drive it to Isla Vista, starting his intended attack on the Alpha Phi sorority house before proceeding to shoot and run over as many people in Isla Vista as possible. With the vehicle, Rodger showed a section of his manifesto describing his childhood in England to his mother Lee Chin, who was impressed and encouraged him to continue writing. Rodger's father knew he had been writing something, but Rodger refused to show it to him. During a hike together, Rodger's father expressed interest in his son's writing and asked to see it. Rodger declined the request, assuring his father he would share it with him soon. In April, Rodger extended his preparations by visiting 2 additional gun ranges. After posting videos to his YouTube channel in the week leading up to April 26th, he hoped a woman might see his videos and ask him on a date. Because this did not happen, Rodger planned to finish writing his manifesto and upload a final video minutes before starting his attack. On April 24th, Rodger became sick with a cold and his father returned early from his business trip, causing Rodger to question whether these events were a sign to abandon his plans. He postponed the date of his planned attack to May 24th to allow recovery from his cold and more time to live. Thanks for tuning in with your host, Tom Atwater.